Welcome back to Southeast Texas Weekly. I'm Kevin Steele, still talking politics. Joining us to do so, Jeff Lewis from the right, Godfrey Leggett from the left. Can I just say, not progressive? He wants to say radical left. I want to keep it at left.
Progressive.
Jeff Lewis.
I did not say you're radical. I said you're radically progressive, which is not the same thing.
There you go. I like that.
We have had the March for Life this past week, an annual event. What do you make of the polls that show more Americans are at this point beginning to like this idea of
that depends
of
on
pro-life?
which poll you look at, Kevin.
It's the polls? What's wrong with the polls?
What was wrong with the polls that informed Fox News that what's his name was going to win?
I didn't know you were an avid Fox News watcher.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just saying you can look at all kinds of different polls.
You realize you're on DSC right now, right?
Some polls seem to show more Americans, especially from the younger demographics, supporting the idea of pro-life. Would you agree?
No.
No, you don't see any of that in America.
If you got right down to it, and you ask a young person, a young woman that's pregnant, if you should be able to tell her what to do with her body, she would probably tell you where to go. And that's the way it is.
All right.
Look, I'm pro-life. Now, I do adopt this view of pro-choice, okay? I will say this, okay? I believe we have the ability to be pro-choice and that you have the ability to choose whether or not you're going to put yourself in a position to have a baby, okay? If you have sex without protection, you are opening up yourself to the possibility you will get pregnant. Okay, that is your discussion. Now, if you are raped, if it's incest, something like that, I agree. You did not make a choice on there, and I think you have the right to do so.
Good, you and I agree on that, Jim.
Okay,
but
we don't have abortion on demand.
Let's not debate abortion.
That's not the same
What
thing.
about the religious right? What about the religious right wanting to restrict birth control pills and things? You can't have it both ways.
Wait a second.
You
They don't want to restrict. That's a misnomer. They're not trying to restrict. The Catholic Church is not saying I don't want to restrict birth control access. Okay, they're just saying we don't believe in it and we don't think we should be made to pay for it. That's not the same thing, Godfrey.
I'm sorry, you're an employer and you're going to do the same thing all other employers do.
They're a private employer. The government does not have the ability to tell a private employer what to do.
They're an employer, period.
It's not the same thing as.
I'm sorry.
You talk about the separation of church and state. You don't say the same thing.
Conversation to another area. Income inequality. How is it that the demographics, that America's CEOs make so much more these days than the middle classes, that we see such a broad diversification in income? Income inequality evidently is a top priority for the final 2 years of this administration.
If we could have a situation existing in industry where the hourly workers, the line workers, could appoint a jury of their peers to decide on giving them a pay raise instead of the boss doing it, I bet a lot of them would get a pay raise.
What is wrong with a $15 minimum wage for America's workers?
I mean, come on. This is the kind of discussion that ends up in hyperinflation. Okay, when you start talking about the dollar amount that has to be for a minimum wage, I mean, okay, if you're in a minimum wage job, okay, let's look at who's in minimum wage jobs. You should be in primarily either supplemental income, okay, not your primary position, or you're someone that's a college student or a high school student. It's not meant for full-time labor. Now, here's the problem.
There's lots of other folks
thanks to some of the legislation that's been passed, aka the Affordable Care Act, we have a lot of part-time workers right now.
That situation existed before the Affordable Care Act, Jeff.
That's not even something that's a reality anymore.
My point is this, Kevin, that CEOs, they get paid by a board, okay, and they appoint the board that delivers their wage increases. It's a fixed game. The same thing doesn't exist for the average worker. The average worker is at the mercy of the corporation and the CEOs. He doesn't have a board of his peers deciding on whether he gets a raise. If that was the case, the middle class would be doing a lot better today.
Finally,
the CEOs are doing fine.
Yeah. Finally, I have to get an idea on your sense of candidate Wendy Davis, how badly she was hurt in her race for governor by the comments that were released this past week by the Dallas Morning News.
What do you think, Jeff?
What do I think? I don't think it's really going to hurt so much, but I do have a couple of questions. I mean,
does it cut into the sincerity matter?
I don't think her misstating that she was 19 instead of or 21 instead of 19 when she got her first divorce. My question is, what were the circumstances around her second divorce where she left the guy one day after she's got her student loans paid off for going to Harvard for law school, and leaves her 14-year-old daughter behind in the process.
I
do have that
question of
question.
I think the people that live on Bullshit Mountain, that's the Tea Party Republicans, they see a lot of molehills as mountains, okay? And this is a molehill being made into a mountain.
Is that a question of credibility?
I think there's a character issue there that I think will be exposed. But you know,
we
in
wanna
the
start talking about character, we
hey,
can start
when
talking
she
about
when she
Republicans.
wins the nomination, we'll discuss her. Until she wins the nomination, we'll talk about other things that matter.
She's going to win the nomination.
Good.
Who's going to beat her for the nomination?
I'm looking forward to that matchup.
I'd like to myself.
I am
yes.
looking forward to it.
We're going to be back in just moments with the candidates for the 252nd District Court here in Beaumont when we come back. Stay with us.